just saw Avatar 2, The Way of Water. It's freezing cold, so I'm home giving the review. I think the most important thing about this movie are the computer graphics, the images, the way they film this and the way they show this, because it is probably the most spectacular feat of CGI I've ever seen. That being said, there's a number of things with the story, to the dialogue, to the new characters that I ask us to embrace, to following the action, like what character is doing what, is often very difficult. One could argue that in real life it would be very difficult to follow an action sequence. But there were times I'm like, I don't know who's who, you know, and like distinguishing the characters. Thank God they had different haircuts, because if they didn't, I would have a lot of trouble. Just, you know, and I'm like there, like I'm hooked. I'm trying to fucking tell this apart, you know. I'm like really looking for it. Yeah, but I didn't like the story too much. I didn't think the dialogue was that great. But again, just a giant leap forward in like special effects. I can't help but think like everyone is way behind when it comes to this. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I've never seen like these alien things look so photorealistic in my life. And they played with the speed. I got to check. I got to do some research about how often they did. I think they fluctuated the frame rate. And it seemed like when the scene got more intense, they upped the frame rate, like how many frames per second they were showing you. And it created this really interesting sort of special effect. And yeah, I mean, I would go to another one of these. I did feel the length. It wasn't too bad for me. People I went with hated the length, thought it was totally indulgent, thought the story could have been told quicker. I think my biggest complaint was the introduction of the new characters that I cared little for and found virtually uninteresting. Aside from one character who sort of has like superpowers. I thought that was pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm happy it was made. I think it's good for everyone, you know, every filmmaker in the world. And so all that being said, I have to give it like a 90 just simply because of how great the special effects were. But the story was very lacking. Anyway, that's how I feel, but peace and love.